So we'll start our next session or rather continuing session on this Docker demo. So what we have seen that how to install a Docker image in a Ubuntu platform. It is as good as you can install in other any other platform. Then what we'll do next is to, for particularly for this demo, we'll download that MySQL server and PHP myadmin into this Docker images from the Docker Hub to this Ubuntu platform. What just some time back Mr. Subroto has shown you, and then we'll do some update on the MySQL database, that putting some records and things like that. Then again is package it and we'll share it and or rather transfer it to another this Windows based Docker Windows based system where the Docker engine is already running. We have already installed, but you can install yourself in other things. So while for transferring any other mode like FTP, anything you can use, in this case we will be using to drive like Google Drive. We will be copying and putting it down, right? You can use any way transfer it, right? So I request Subroto to continue.
Yes. So let us first pull the Docker image. So we are pulling the MySQL image. So in this demo we'll have this MySQL database, and we'll have PHP myadmin, that is the front end, and this PHP myadmin will be connected to this MySQL container. So in that front end we'll be adding means we'll create a database and we'll create a table, and inside the table we'll add some records, and after that we will be able to save the images like this MySQL image with that new database, right. So then that image can be transferred to other system, and those can be run in that system. So it may be Ubuntu, maybe Windows, maybe CentOS, Linux. Okay. Yes, so this MySQL image is getting pulled from Docker Hub, right. So it is present, and now if we see means it is pulled, if we see Docker images, right, this MySQL image is present. Now let us pull PHP myadmin. Okay. So now we need to also write a Docker file. So means a Docker file is basically if we specify some commands over there, the thing is that some things like those things will be saved over there, and those things can be built, and we can have some new image, new container. Like in this case we'll write this Docker file. So we'll do this we'll use this MySQL image that is being pulled before this step. So on top of that we are basically copying the varlib MySQL directory to our customized directory, that is volume 1, varlib volume 1. So and data directory is basically we are specifying this one, this customized directory. So this helps in basically saving the data database when the container is removed. Then also the data will be saved in this directory, and we can make a new image based on this container, running container. So, we will be using this Docker file. So, let us yeah, so let us wait for that command. Oh, this command is completed. Okay. Now, in this where we are running in this path, we are keeping the, let us say we are creating a new directory, we are creating this Docker file there, right. So, this Docker file is saved here. Now, let us let us first see what this, whether these images are present or not. Okay, so this MySQL container and image and my PHP my admin image is present. Now, let us go to this directory and let us build the this Docker file.
So, you will be doing some record changes and data changes, right?
Yes. So, basically we will be using this image, this new image, and using this image we will be creating new database, because in the existing MySQL image which is being pulled from Docker Hub, in that one it is not customized, which means data directory is by default given, but we need to create a custom data directory, so that we can keep the data persistent.
Okay.
That is why we are building a Docker image on top of this MySQL, specifying the customized directory, and we will be using this image, new image, right. So, it is building the this Docker file. Right. So, this is the last step. So, now if we see Docker images, yeah, so this new image of MySQL is created. Now, we will use this image and we will run those as container, and this PHP myadmin will also run. So, let me first run this one, that this thing, that your MySQL image. Okay. So, let me write this Docker run, let me give a name, and then yes. So, after giving this one, we need to specify the image name also, right, and yeah, that is it. Yes. So, if you now write sudo docker ps, okay, so that container is not running. Let me check. I think some parameters is missing. Okay, so that okay, this environment variable we need to give, right. So, let me run once again. Yes, some error is coming. Let me change the name. So, let me, yes. So, this is the command. Let us try to run the container. So, if we write sudo docker ps, yeah, it is showing that this MySQL container is running. So, now we will be running that PHP myadmin, that container. So, let me give a name PHP myadmin, and yes, we need to link that one, like the MySQL container with this container. Okay. So for that we are using basically that I think this link command is there. So if we go there, just let us see. Yes, so this link we need to do, like minus link is the command that we need to use over here, and we need to write this container over here, container name. So this is the database that will be used over here, and we also need to do this port forwarding over here, right. So if we run now, let us see what happens. This container should be running. Okay, right, let us see what is there. Yeah, sudo docker ps is giving me that these two containers are running. Okay, that's fine. Now let us go to this web browser, and let us go over here, 8080 localhost colon 8080. So if we see over here that PHP myadmin, this interface is here.
What you have done, you have taken this MySQL image and the PHP myadmin from the Docker, and you are running in the Docker engine installed here, right?
Yes.
So that means you don't have to now install MySQL as such, anything out here.
Right.
So it is from the Docker Hub. He has downloaded that MySQL server and PHP myadmin, and then running right away.
Right. So here now it is
now your PHP myadmin is connected to the backend database, right?
Exactly.
Backend MySQL database, which are both two containers, right?
Yes, sir. So these two containers we have created, and now we can see that this PHP myadmin is up, and it is connected to that MySQL server, my database. Now let us try to create new database and new tables over here. So yeah, so
Actually, this is a DB thing.
Yes, we are first creating a new database, and inside that we are creating some new table.
Table you give nptel tab, you can give it something there.
Yeah.
nptel tab.
Okay. Yes. Let us take 3 columns, say, for timing.
Okay.
So yeah, let us create. Okay.
Name of the table may be course.
Yeah.
This column is course ID.
Right.
Say let it be integer.
Yes.
Say 10 and 4. Okay, fine.
Yeah. And course name.
Course name.
Right.
And a credit.
Yeah.
Course credit. Only credit will also.
Okay. So that is yes.
4. Okay.
Yeah. So if we now save, this schema will be ready. Now we can insert some record in this database.
Right.
So let me insert some data.
Say course ID 1001.
Yes.
And what is course name is say cloud computing. And credit is 3.
Right. Let us also add some other records.
Right.
So that cloud computing should be within quote.
Yeah, correct. That's a string. Right. And let us say this
102 networking. Only networking. Say 4.
correct. So let us try to add these two.
Right.
Yes. Yes. So these two are inserted.
So you can see that. Right?
Yeah. Select star if we do. Correct. So these two are there. Now we can do one thing. We can save this running container into an image, new image. So yeah, so for that we will use Docker. Sorry. Yes, for that we will use Docker commit. This command, and this is the container ID, and let me give a new name. Yes, so this will basically save a new image with this name MySQL underscore v3, and it is basically saving the current container state basically with this new database, new table, those things will be there. Yes. So now if we see sudo docker images, first of all in PS it is running because we have not closed those things. The sudo docker images, if we go here, we can see this has been created. Yeah, just a few seconds ago. Now we can do one thing. We can basically move this image as a tar file to another system.
Okay.
So let me create a tar archive.
And this backup is created runtime, means
Yes.
it is a means we have not stopped the MySQL and all, so it is created runtime.
Right. So for saving into a tar image, we will be using that command sudo docker save. Sudo docker save. Oh, sorry. Yes. Sudo docker save. Then this one. I think the syntax. Let me see. In fact, in here also they have shown docker save docs.docker.com. They have given here the syntax. Yeah, so we need to give like that container name, sorry, image name, then the tar archive.
Right. So MySQL v3.
Correct. Yeah, sudo docker save MySQL v3
greater than something.
Yeah, some image, some archive name.
My tar dot
My image, let us say.
TAR.
Yes, tar archive. Yes. So in this directory, this tar file will be created because we are currently in this directory only. Yeah, it is getting created over here. Yeah, it is getting created.
Then for transferring, you will be using in this case Google Drive to transfer.
Yes, yes.
You can use other things also, direct FTP, etc. But here we are using.
Yeah.
So the tar file is being created. So that will be transferred to a. Will show you into a Windows system.
Yes. So it will take some time.
Right. So because it is having the this MySQL instance along with all its dependency, etc.
Right. And in that new system, this MySQL image will be run as a container. First, we will be loading that this tar archive to Docker image, and then we'll be running this container, and PHP myadmin will be pulling from Docker Hub itself.
Okay. So at the destination, as he mentioning, we will be using this updated MySQL, updated in the sense with the
this changes.
data loaded means that table created, etc. And whereas in the destination system, Windows system, the PHP myadmin will be downloaded from the Docker Hub. We could have transferred that also from here, but as there is no change, so using the latest thing from the Docker Hub may be a good decision.
Yeah, so it is completed, and yes, correct. So it is completed. Now let us upload this one in a shared directory.
You may create a directory nptel or something.
Okay,
That
that
will be easy to
identify.
right?
Correct.
Here you-
Yeah, here we will upload.
So this is basically only transferring the file.
Yes.
Now we'll download from a this one Windows system.
Yes. So that Docker shipping, that is the
Right. So shipping the doc. And it will be used at the other end.
yeah.
Like analogy is that you are putting on the ship and transferring that container to other destination and then opening up the container at the other end
Right, with the changes, this thing.
with the updated things. Right?
Yes.
So you need to share the location with the
Right,
destination.
with the destination.
File size is little high, that's why it is taking
Yeah.
some time.
Right.
It is
Yes.
uploaded. So now we will be looking downloading the thing in a Windows system and where Docker engine is already running in the same process how it has been done in the Ubuntu. You can see that reference in the docs.docker.com, and now we will be showing that the updated MySQL, updated in the sense the data has been updated, that you can run on the things. Okay, please Anupam.
So here we got the tar file that has been generated, and it is placed in this as a myimage.1.tar. So let us first download this one. So here we are using this Google Drive for shipping the container, but it may be something else. So we can transfer it by maybe running SCP command, or maybe through the FTP. But the concept is that we have created some container at the distance place, and we have updated that data, and then we are trying to we have shipped that container, and now we are running into a separate machine. So that container, the content within that container should be as same as the it has been shipped earlier. So it is getting downloaded, and here in case of Windows, so if we install the Docker, so Windows provides a Docker desktop. So through that is a graphical interface through which we can monitor what are the images running and what are the containers running and what are the images available. So once we install that Docker, we will get a default image, and that our default container, so that is running that will be running in port 80. So we have stopped that one so that we can run the other things. Now let's see whether it is, yes. So now it has been downloaded. So I think it is downloaded in, yeah. So let me see. So this is the image I got. Now next part is to I have to load this image into our Docker. So what we are doing is we will open a command prompt. and then we will write this command docker load. We are loading this container, the name was my image1.tar, img1.tar. So if you can see that here at present there is only one image. Now once I run this one, okay, so I have to first go to that directory. And then load yes, so it is getting loaded. Now you can see that in this docker in this machine, so there is one container, one image is there. So once it is completed, so you will get another image will be coming. So this MySQL v3, that name that we have provided there, so the same name, so that image has appeared here. Now it is loaded. Now our job is to run this MySQL.
So shipping part, quote unquote shipping part has been done. Now the image has been shipped from the source to destination.
Docker run minus name, the name that we have provided. So the one name we have to provide here, and later on if we want to connect it from the phpMyAdmin, that name we have to specify there. So that is why we have to provide a custom name here. So let me put it as MySQL1, then say minus d, then it is MySQL, and this is the image name. So this image name, it is MySQL underscore v3 underscore v3. So we are running the MySQL. So now it is completed. So if you go now in the container, you can see that this MySQL1 it is running as MySQL1, and this MySQL v3, that image is running as MySQL1 container. Now it is part of the phpMyAdmin. So we have shipped only the MySQL because some table are updated, and some table we have created, and then we have inserted some data. So there is a change in the MySQL, but there is no change in the phpMyAdmin. So that is why we have not shipped that one. We are directly downloading from the Docker Hub. So here also we are providing a name, that phpMyAdmin, it will run as a container name will be phpMyAdmin. Then we are linking that MySQL which was running, so that name is MySQL1, it is running as a db, so colon db minus p, that is for port forwarding. So we will run it, the phpMyAdmin will run in 8080 port. Then we are pulling the phpMyAdmin and the latest version.
So from the Docker Hub, you are pulling my phpMyAdmin and giving a name called phpMyAdmin1.
Yes, and that should connect
to the
MySQL1
what you
container.
have
Yes,
right.
yes.
Great.
So as the phpMyAdmin package is not available in the local, so now it will first connect to local, and then if it is not found, then only it will go for downloading. So here you can see that there is two images. So now the third image will come, and the third container will also come as running. So now the new PHP MyAdmin appeared here, and if you go, so this PHP MyAdmin is running in port 8080. Okay. Now let us go to this PHP MyAdmin, which is running locally in port 8080. So if we go there, so here this PHP MyAdmin is running, and let us log in. So here you can see that this MyDB1 that was created earlier, it is there. The NPTEL tab, that table which I have created, it is existing here, and the columns, those 3 columns, course ID, course name and credit, all those things are here available. So let us see what are the datas are there. So here this cloud computing 3, 1001 and 1002, the networking 4. So those records which are updated in the in a other machine, and which are shipped as a container in my machine, so the data is still present. So we have preserved the state, we have shipped the container, and we are importing that here, but without, we are not installing any separate MySQL or PHP or Apache, anything. So we are just placing that container on the top of a Docker engine, and the things are running.
So this is so hope this demo will help you in understanding the basic philosophy of container, and though we have used this Docker to demonstrate it, and as it is a open source, and there are a lot of documentations under docker.com or docs.docker.com, I encourage you to do it on your end and see that how things works. It will give you a confidence on how things work. Okay, thank you. So we will end our demo session today, and we will continue our discussion in the subsequent lectures. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.